Morning guys, out there in E-Dirt land, Hollywood Hills here on site at Rad Motos. Last week we decided to dust things off, talk about all the stuff that's happening out there on the calendar, and I just about lost my voice. Crazy numbers on the page, lots of amazing tours, and even more numbers coming out as January rolls on through and the last wave of Joe Burgers make their way back from the coast. It was great to talk about everything that's going to come up, and we know that 2017 is going to be a super exciting year. From the Hollywood Hills side, we're going to be trying as best we can to get out there on the trails with you guys and also at the events. You know I'm going to be on point. I'm going to be barking down that microphone at every single event, and then we're going to come back. We'll give you guys a nice polished rundown of what happened at each event. Coming out of last week's show, I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, talking to all the manufacturers, the importers, and of course the title sponsors of many of the big teams out there rocking and rolling in the world of national enduro, regional off-road, and national off-road. Trying to get together some of the little sneaky secrets that are going on behind the scenes and find out who is going to be behind which bars on which brands and wearing which brand going forward into the year. It's been very hard because a lot of the guys haven't quite dialed in their contracts. A couple of guys are still trying to surf the wave. They're playing the free agent game like they used to back in the day and seeing if they can hang on for that last sweet deal. That said, we do know there's a lot of guys that have stayed put. For the most part, the KTM squad are looking, it's unofficial, but it's looking like it's pretty much locked in as it was last year. I'm waiting for feedback from Rian Niveling and the guys over at KTM SA. He's already locked in his motocross team, and he's going to come back to me this week. So by next week, I'll be able to deliver all the goods on the factory off-road and enduro KTM South Africa factory team. Same story with Husqvarna. That said, we do know on the interweb that it did show that Brett Swanepoel, no big secret there. You see the Husqvarna with the 111. We know that Swanee is off the blue and onto the white. That's the only detail we have. Fast Fred is going to come back to me with all of the meat to add to that bone going forward. Same story there. So blue became white for Swanee, kind of like a purpley blue, which was Sherco, has become full blue on Yamaha. And that's Flanny, Carl Flanagan. He's been a great rider coming up through the junior ranks, and beginning of this year started things off in his own private deal, still on the Sherco ride, moved across, being picked up by Yamaha. Great bit of shopping on Adrian Back and South African Yamaha side to try and find a new standout shining star to try and get the blue all the way to the top of the pile. It's going to be very, very interesting. The rest of the factory teams, it's going to be hard to try and nail down who is doing what, but I promise you, we will have all that information by next week. We have to, because all the big banger races start so early this year. We spoke about it last week. Gary Frank's EWXC, 2 weeks time, we're going to be out there in the field. Week after that, GXCC round 1. Week after that, National Enduro, Dundee, round number 1. That's pretty much the earliest we have ever seen a full national tour starting. On the privateer side of things, very exciting. Well, semi-privateer anyway. King Kenny, former national off-road champion. Last year lost it by, I think, at 1 point at the final round to Ross Branch. That was for the national off-roads. Stays with Husky, but he's going to be running under Husky Liqui Moly. Himself and Matty Green actually pitting alongside the factory squad. I will bring you more information on the factory squad. But just a real exciting time of year for us here at Hollywood Hills, as well as the industry, because there's a lot of moving and shaking going on. And as far as tech goes, as far as the development on the machines go, 2017, you've got to have the best crop of bikes to choose from out there. We're seeing a lot of the smokers coming out with the 150s. It's going to be very exciting to see a couple of guys really taking those all the way to the top of the pile. We've already seen the results coming at the Roof of Africa with little Calvin Wiltshire, Calvin Hume. A lot of guys are going to be stepping onto those. Also, we'll be able to start answering some of the questions about the kids that have moved up from the juniors, moved out of high schools into the big national categories. That's always a great time of year for us. So I've really had my work cut out. It doesn't sound like I've got all the answers for you yet. I have to sit on them because there's a couple of guys that are still waiting for their contracts ink to dry. Next week, I will be able to bring you much, much more information. We're here at Rad, by the way, because I was just downstairs working with the guys, and we put together a great video for them, kind of an instructional, because they've got a brand new system running downstairs with their workshop. Very seamless. Basically, You check the bike in with the mechanic that is going to work on it. That mechanic phones you. You are in constant communication with that one mechanic, and that mechanic gives you your bike back. So they're running a real seamless process. They've started to open their workshop a little bit earlier in the morning to make it nice and easy. But go check them out onto their Rad Motos website, and you'll get the full breakdown, exactly what we did to help them out going forward. As far as the rest of our sponsors go, we spoke about last week, we're still going to be promoting all of our specials through EMD Racing, the guys up at Centurion, and they've got a blowout special, 20% off all their rubber. That's still flying. The guys at Basefit, remember, Ludwig Jansen van Vuren is still running the show up there. Basefit Centurion, 10 riders, good to go. You've got a place if you book in with him from zero to hero, from the beginning of the show to the end of the show being the Roof of Africa 2017. We know it's going to be a tricky one. You guys will need all the help you can get, but go speak to the guys up there. Also, great once again to have Vans Racing Division, Husqvarna from Middelburg up. They're going to be sending us many specials to go forward, but super excited to get them on board. And of course, we'll be promoting their FJX race series throughout the whole year. But right now, go on to the Rad Motos website, www.radmoto.co.za. Check out the workshop video that we put together this morning. We're very happy with how it went down, and Jubs is going to tell you how the whole process works. If you guys want some rubber, go speak to the guys at EMD up at Centurion. If you want to get fit and strong like me, go speak to the guys at Basefit Centurion. And if you are up there in Middelburg, go and chat to the guys at Vans Racing Husqvarna. They'll hook you up with all of their specials. Right now, I'm going to have one more of these posh coffees here at Rad Motos, and we'll see you out there on the trails. 2 weeks, baby, and we go racing.